You can't get along with a narcissist for 5 painful reasons. Doesn't one sometimes wonder if there's a way to get along with a narcissist? If they were financially reliant on the narcissist, trauma-bonded to the narcissist, or the parent of the narcissist's children? Although no is the obvious response, one might wonder why that is. Justify the challenges in interacting with narcissists. These questions and more will be explored in today's program. Hello, welcome to today's show, in which we'll discuss the 5 major points of contention between you and NASA. New viewers can subscribe to my channel by selecting the button and then the B icon. First, let's examine the supporting rationale. No amount of effort will ever be enough to satisfy a narcissist. Visualize a narcissist as a container with a huge hole cut out of the bottom. Regardless of how many people work on it or how hard they try, no matter how much you put in, it will all evaporate. The narcissist, however, will have you believe that you are to blame for their distress about the emptiness of the cup. The narcissist trapped inside this body is the real issue, unfortunately. Nothing you give a narcissist, nothing they ask for, nothing you sacrifice for, and nothing you invest in the relationship will ever be returned to you in any meaningful way, for the sole purpose of helping this one person. In other words, you'll be wasting your time, energy, and resources on someone who has no hope of appreciating them. 2. The situation is only going to worsen over time. Many people hope, or at least focus on the possibility, that this person will change for the better once they have children or experience the passage of time, or that they will be broken by their environment and be forced to find their own strength through it. However, this is not the case 99.9% of the time. You will just have to get used to the idea that this person will continue to degrade over time, as there is no other way out of this predicament. Long-term commitment to a narcissist is a recipe for further abuse. Their treatment of you will get worse over time. After a while together, they might stop attempting to impress you with their best qualities. This individual will never show you anything but their dark side, which includes cheating on you, betraying you, lying to you, treating you like you don't matter, and yet not caring about you. This is reason number 2 for why you shouldn't be with a narcissist before we get to reason number 3. Thirdly, I'm curious as to how far along you are in the narcissist's connection with you. I was wondering if you left already, or if you're still debating what to do. Post your comments below, where you'll likely find others discussing like issues and gain possible confirmation from their experiences. It's possible that this will help you feel heard. You should go to the group sandbox right now and dump all of your old lessons in there. The third justification will be discussed now. If you stay, you risk losing who you are. You must understand that the narcissist is a parasite. The way they treat you is indicative of a predatory nature and attitude, at the very least. In our eyes, you are nothing more than a resource to be used and discarded at will. In this way, you'll ensure the relationship's continued financial support. You'd keep squandering away the years until you felt like you were nothing but a hollow shell filled with bitterness and rage. The process of becoming a narcissist has been claimed by certain people. Eventually, the victim's ability to take the narcissist's cruelty wore out, and they began treating the narcissist with the same cruelty they had endured. This might happen. In fact, if I were to predict your future, I would say that this is it. Your mental health will suffer if you maintain a long-term connection with a narcissist. If you lose your capacity to feel compassion and empathy, you will no longer be able to help others. That would vanish entirely. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's unlikely that anything would change, even if we broke up right then. Not that it would have made a difference by then. Reason 4 is that you've lost your kids. As a result of concerns about their children, many people remain. I'm staying in the relationship for the time being so that they can maintain contact with both of their parents. To their credit, they recognize that, no matter how well-intentioned, their actions will have negative consequences for their children. The offspring would either become narcissists or codependents. For a good reason, too. This is because they came from a family background where violence and trauma were regular occurrences during their childhood. In this dangerous environment, even the smallest of mistakes can have dire consequences. Their environment, in which they endured unimaginable mental anguish at the hands of their parents. Whether you want to believe it or not, some children will hold it against you for staying together too long, or for not making the best option when you have the chance. So you will eventually lose contact with them as well. They will eventually come around and acknowledge your wisdom in protecting them from harm, expressing gratitude for your actions. I get what you're trying to say. This leads us to our fifth and final point. They will also clash with our fourth. In spite of how well you get along with them. Now, one way to keep a relationship going with a narcissist is to constantly flatter them, doing what they want you to do without speaking up, without expressing your emotions, your opinions, your convictions, or your humanity. They will always find something wrong with you, no matter how perfect you try to be. To restate what was said in the opening paragraph, there is no point in trying to get along with a narcissist because they will never be content. To put it another way, that's the whole point. When all else fails, just put yourself back and do what they say, regardless of how many times you call or how much money you donate. Any fleeting feeling of closeness to them is fleeting and fleetingly lost because there is no means to sustain the relationship. That today's program helped you see why it's not enough to simply quit. You also cannot possibly get along with the narcissist. It is important that we talk, and I hope to do so as soon as possible. Then they will allow the healing process to begin.